In this video, I want to give 3 unique vlogging tips that most people won't be doing. So the first one is to use a gimbal. A gimbal steadies the camera. I'm using a smartphone and it's being steadied by this contraption that's called a gimbal. So if I move around, you can see that it's really smooth and it's not juddery at all. The second one is fix the exposure. The problem sometimes is that, especially with smartphones, when you move around, they go light and dark. And if you fix the exposure, you don't have that problem. The third one is use an app. I'm actually getting my notes from the screen. I've got a list of notes and I'm going through them one by one. And you don't know that. It looks like I'm actually looking at the camera, but I'm not. I'm reading it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go off this setup and get onto the computer and also use my other smartphone to just show you the setup. So here's my setup. I've got the mobile phone and it's in the gimbal, and you just set it up so it roughly balances. When you let go, it doesn't move around too much. I've got an external microphone. This is a Video Micro by Rode, and this then plugs into the mobile phone. It's attached using an L bracket. Let's just turn it on, then you can see that it's nice and smooth. When I turn it left and right, it's just nice and smooth and it doesn't shake so much. The other thing that I sometimes use is an external mouse. This is actually a Bluetooth mouse, and I use that to scroll the notes that I've got on the screen. I'm using an Android phone, and these are the apps that I'm using. I'm not sure the exact apps that you can use with an iPhone, but I'll talk about that at the end. So the first one here is Open Camera, and I use this because you can lock the exposure. These are screenshots from my phone, and the first one here is with it unlocked. You can see here this is unlocked, and you can also adjust the exposure with these 2 buttons here. This screenshot shows it locked, and that means that it won't flicker as you move around. It won't go light and dark. The second app that I use is called Floating Apps, and this is free as well, although there is a paid version. With the free version, you get an advert that you have to close first. Once I've opened Floating Apps, I click on Add Note, and you get this here. So you can type in a note, and you can keep going actually down to the bottom of the screen and continue down, and it will just scroll further. If you click up here, then you've got some options. You can decrease or increase the font size. And what I did earlier, I clicked on Show Notes and got this screen, and you can see some notes that I did earlier. So I opened this one here, this one that I'm actually talking about today, and these were the notes that I was following today. So this is my setup. I've got the notes here. The camera is actually just to the left of these notes. So when I'm reading this, it actually looks like I'm looking at the camera. I haven't got an iPhone and I don't use one, so I haven't been able to check this setup with an iPhone. But I saw this article that talks about locking the focus and the exposure on an iPhone, so you should be able to do that part. This other article I found was about using split screen on the iPhone, so this might work. You might be able to put the text that you're reading over to the left, which is near the actual camera on the iPhone. There might be apps that do this with the iPhone that have a floating window, but I don't know. So if you know about that, please put some comments to go with this video. Anyway, that's my setup, and I find it works really well. I did lots of testing on this, and I'm really happy with the setup. If you've got something that you think's better, then please put comments about that below and let me know so I can try them out.